Okay, it's time we break down exactly what's going on with Terra Luna Classic. Are truly people trying to steal the community wallets? What are all these voting proposals all about? And fundamentally, what is the future looking like for Terra Luna Classic? All of that in this video, so be sure to keep up to date with everything going on in the cryptocurrency market by subscribing. And if you are still bullish on Luna Classic, smash a like on this video, drop a comment, let me know where you're from, and let's get into this video. Here we go. Terra Luna Classic sitting 9141. Now, what's interesting is our volume today has been pretty abysmal, 29.7 million as we head in to that Binance burn coming up within the next 4 or 5 days. And you might have seen, well, a different narrative. There's lots of drama going on Twitter. There's not as many contents being produced on YouTube. You can start to see a narrative that's slightly different to maybe what you expect. So all of that we're going to kind of get into and understand what's going on. So fundamentally, it all sits around these proposals. We saw a significant number of proposals, whether that be the 6 samurai that I talked about in a previous video, burn the Binance customer fees, running costs, L1 task force team, the real one, releasing the entirety, all sorts of crazy votes and proposals coming in. What's really interesting here is they are all from different people or different entities vying for some cut or some slice of the community wallet. Now, big shout out to Happy Catty Crypto. These are his words and not mine, but he does break this down in much more detail for us. So I thought it was definitely worthwhile just touching on this, and in particular, understanding where and who is requesting this money. Now, Happy's words and his views are his own, they are not mine. However, I think it's important just to break down some of the key parts of this tweet. So what we've got currently, and we can see this here if we take on the community pool, we can see exactly where we sit with our community pool. So about 2.23 billion Luna Classic, 4.421 million USTC. That is currently where it sits, and there's been loads of debate and discussion around how we continue to fund the community pool. Do we change the anti-handlers to support the burn slightly differently? There's tons of stuff going on, but in terms of these proposals, well, we've got a L1 proposal. That is the Q3 L1 team and what they are proposing. We have the Quant proposal, the Terra Rebels proposal, and an L1 counter proposal, which hasn't actually been factored in yet. This isn't it Agora Forum or equally a voting round. Now you can see there that it's 9 million lung would remain in the community wallet if you don't factor that bottom one in, and actually there is some significant amounts that would be taken out there. So it is ultimately about a couple of different entities. So we have the USTC repeg, which could lead us down a path like we had with Terra Rebels. Remember, Terra Rebels came out and said they were going to relaunch a station wallet that we could access and was going to be all singing, all dancing, and all just walked away with the money. It was kind of a bit crazy, really, to think about it, and ultimately, therefore, have done nothing since that point. We also then get a number of other people that want to come in, and in particular that have been around before, that interestingly, and Hattie kind of makes a really good point here, have moved their discussion over to a separate third-party website in which they can have the view of it, as opposed to what we deem as governance and decentralization, which is the Agora Forum. Anything, in my view, that hits the station wallet should go through the Agora Forum post, and I think that's important. It gives everybody in the Terra Classic community to have a word and have a view. What we've seen, though, is that they have moved over to a different third entity website in which they talk about what their proposal is before it actually hits the proposal. It says specifically, Bilbo has proven time and time again that he is a bad actor, sabotaged artist, and just a very rude person. You've also privatized Agora by moving the community to a commonwealth you run. This was not passed via governance. You are exactly what you say others are. So this commonwealth where articles are put up there for people to view is not, in my words, in my view, being keeping with the Agora, which is the decentralized or the basic standard that we use for Luna Classic. Ultimately, they talk about privatization of that community pool, and again, making sure that it's going to the right people. Here's the kind of crux of it all, though. It says, if all of these props pass, the pool would be negative 630 million, and if it could go to negative. Do you think any of these groups give a fly-in? No, they would respect the governance votes. It's clear the L1 team have been voted in. Your team is a no. And I think the point that Happy's trying to make here is that ultimately, through this governance system that we all signed up to, and if you are in the Terra Classic community, you agree to, is the one thing that should hold our decentralization. It's the one thing we have that's very different over a lot of other ecosystems, is that we can post anything. Now, that does come with the caveat of we tend to get a lot of scam links. We tend to get a lot of people trying to take our Lunar Classic offers, but it is the best and only way we can be fully decentralized and supporting this. Now, I agree with Hattie that basically says we voted the L1 task force team. Have they done a good job? That's what you have to ask yourself. But are we really going to go and splash the entire community wallet on some potentials, on some unknown entities, as opposed to a team that we do generally know about? Now, again, when we take a look at the vote, however, it does feel like the community has coming aligned. So we see Six Samurai looks like that's probably not going to pass, depending on how validators vote. The running cost for technical support for Terra Rebels, it looks like that might not well pass. The L1 task force team does look like it will get that proposal. And then the USTC stable algo quant team, which is part of that USTC repeg and environment testing, could also pass as well. We'll have to see. As always, we're going to keep you up to date though as these break, but I thought it was very interesting to take a look at. What we are seeing though, if we come and take a look at this, more and more people are staking, and we've been covering this now the last week. We're nearly at 15%, some big stakings coming in. Look at this, 624 million staked with one individual. Remember, you've got to understand that whoever you stake with, you are giving governance control and power on some of these votes. So really critical that when you stake your Lunar Classic, and I would always recommend staking it to get those benefits, you are staking it with people that generally have the best interests of this community at heart, and maybe not someone in for a quick buck. We do, however, see the supply continues to come down with over 100 million burnt on today. And again, we'll keep you up to date with as those burns come through, particularly that Binance burns. What's going on the price? Well, the price is pretty flat. We are seeing a bit of a sell-off right now, 1.12% down. The rest of the market in the green, some absolutely massive rallies. XLM, Terra, a number of others really starting to make a difference. But Lunar Classic, wherever we have drama with this ecosystem, new investors will not come to it. And I think that is probably the bit I want to leave you all with. Wherever there is drama, wherever there is infighting, wherever there is people arguing or even trying to take the community pool, as a new investor, why would you come to Terra Lunar Classic? Now, if you've been in it, you understand what we're building, you understand what could the potential of this be. So for me, it's about really understanding, let's keep to the proposals we agreed to, which is decentralized using Agora Forum, and then the station wallets and the validators in which you stake with offer your opinion and ultimately uphold your views on this ecosystem. But let me know down below in the comments, what do you think of all of these votes? Do you think we should just stick with the L1 task force team, or is there someone else that's caught your eye? As ever, thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.